The Great Invocation is extremely helpful at this time. It's an invocation that aligns us to the hierarchy, the coming of the Christ, and the dispelling of world glamour. Yeah. So it invokes our awareness, yeah, an intuitive awareness of a very long process of life, yeah, that has been going on for a long time. Yeah, but this invocation is constant. It constantly is the invocation that goes on with the Lord of the world. So that process moves through different levels. Yeah. So this talks about the coming of the Christ, yeah, the coming of the Avatar, yeah, and the changing of the way things are, you know, how that changes, and it invokes the ability to allow it to happen. Because the difficulty is that when the Dark Lodges in charge were full of corruption and in a lot of impurities. So when I come into this, there's a healing crisis involved. Yeah, and it's light. It has energy. It vibrates. Yeah, and that vibration has a direct counteractive relationship, like a homeopathic. It's an energetic principle between what might be your constitutional problem, yeah, and I'm your constitutional answer. So being your constitutional answer, I'm your biggest aggravation. Yeah, the biggest aggravation you ever come across. Yeah, even though I'm sweet and I'm kind and I'm generous and I do all the right things, yeah, I still am the light. Yeah, and the difficulty is that the ego that people are is designed for sacrificing themselves, like suicide. Yeah, people set themselves up for suicide. They set themselves up to eat wrong. They set themselves up to eat the sugar they're not supposed to eat. Yeah, that's what their ego lives for. Their ego kills them so the soul will not enter the body. Yeah, and it's important the soul enters the body. So there's this war. It's called the dweller on the threshold. Yeah, and since this is a whole planet, yeah, then we are in the dweller, all of us, and we all have the same problem. Should we go outside? Should we wear a mask? I don't care if you're in India, Afghanistan, Malaysia, China, Japan, New York. Every single person's saying the same thing. Every single person's got the same problem. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a ability for us to become healers. That's the process of the healing crisis, is that we are, without any doubt, we have doubt. Yeah. And that doubt makes us not a healer. Lack of faith makes us not a healer. We can be a doctor, we can be a practitioner, but are you a healer? Can you talk to someone and their symptoms go away? Yeah? Yeah? Can you get the demon to come out of the person towards you, and by the time it gets anywhere near you, it has dissipated into nothingness? Because the demon didn't exist in the first place. It was conjured. It was conjured by a witch somewhere along the line. And all those conjurings do not exist. Yeah, they're astral, manifested as a curse. So they're inside people. Unless we don't have to get linear and go, oh, you got a demon in there, its name is Joey, pulling it out, you know. But just in kindness and in love, in our first initiation, we become magnetic healers. Yeah. So I put out these etheric weavers so that people can get used to being in the presence of healing. Yeah. And it's Christ, it's me, I'm doing it. Yeah. But yet, I'm just like all disciples, I'm giving everyone the opportunity to be like Christ. Everyone. So here's your first one. And when you do this, you can't think, you can't put it over them, you can't say what is wrong with them, do they have cancer, and think, oh, it's spinning to the right, they got cancer, oh boy. You know, none of that. It won't answer you like that. It's on its own, because it's working with Christ. And the Christ is working with the soul of this individual and the soul of the person that's holding the etheric weaver. So a triangle takes place, and that creates the fostering of fellowship, the first initiation. If we can get through that, get past the processes of all your witchcraft and all the things that tells you Christ doesn't exist. And Christ, no, that can't be coming from Christ, this Weaver. But your soul tells you it is coming from Christ. The baby tells you it came from Christ. Yeah? Because it's got all kinds of energy coming out telling you exactly where it comes from. Exactly where this comes from, exactly where everything I do has me in it. Yeah? And it's not like everybody else. It's the opposite. Anything of everybody else's has the energy of what it is in them. And this is my purse. This is my car. That's my shoes. Yeah? So if you put on those people's shoes, you'd be cursed. You'd pick up all that. This is my shoes. And that would not make you a better person. But if you were to come across Jesus' shoes and put those on, you're going to walk differently. You're going to heal. Yeah? Anything that comes with me has a radiating process that has to do with your chakras. And all the chakras are in the light. It all depends on your level. Whether or not you can get to how high, it all depends on you. Yeah? So the light takes you through every initiation, all the way through the process. And the first initiation is magnetic healing. And that opens you up to letting people know Christ exists, that Christ radiates to this tool. And that begins the first externalization of Christ. Yeah? The externalization of Christ. And that creates healers in the world. Yeah? Not Christ walking around as a healer, Christ walking around as a teacher, creating healers. And they become disciples much longer down the road, maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years, maybe 50 lives. Yeah? But sooner or later, they become the temple. And they become the temple builder. Because they know in their mind and consciousness that the whole planet is set in ley lines, like meridians and chakras. Yeah? And that if we walk this earth under the guidance of Christ, our feet heal those meridians. So we're guided to Mexico, to wherever we go, or sit in the same house for a long time, because we are a meridian healer. And we do acupuncture with our feet, with our body. Yeah? And we are moved by the earth. That's higher divination. Yeah? That's the movement of God moving you and aligning you, and that takes your chakra here and your throat center here, and it takes your solar plex to connect to your heart. And that moves your lifestyle. And that moves you to minimalism, to where you don't need a big house, you don't need all these things that are exaggerations of all the things that you think you need. But they all just go away, simply because your chakras are working, and you become more and more of a healer. You buy the smaller house, yeah. You get the electric car, yeah. You do all these things that make you a true minimalist. You're on the way to becoming a master in the new age, yeah. And when you die, you're going to reincarnate with such a pretty, healthy body. You're going to be the teacher to your mom and dad. Yeah? You're going to be the way-shower for the people on your block. Yeah? And collective groups of people, other children that incarnate with you, are going to be attracted to you because you've already connected yourself to minimalism and higher forms of interconnection, where your psychicism draws you back to your loved ones, and not your karma that draws you to the last person who shot you in your previous life, or maybe 2 or 3 lives before that. That couldn't get back to you in your last life, just missed you, but they're going to come. That's life. That's your curse, people. Yeah? And my job is to erase all those, to where you do never have any of those come up in your life. You bring blessings. That's the guru. Yeah? The master creates another world that provides you mercy. Even though there's enormous suffering and bullshit going on, you can be in the middle of grace and receive mercy in the moment and be the only person who walks out, or you radiate light into a whole bunch of other people, and they all choose to walk out with you. But the will of God is now moving that process. That's the future. Yeah? It's not where we're at now, but it's where we're going. And masses of people are in that energy and manifesting in it. So that's why I do the invocations. That's why I do the ceremonies. There are tens of thousands of people that listen to this one invocation. Not the most. The one that people listen to the most is the invocation of bodhisattva. Yeah, that around the world there are thousands of people that are constantly listening to. I know, because they get it from me. Yeah, and they tap into this channel, and woo, there's thousands of people listening to my. And I got all these different songs out there, but all of them are choosing this one song. Thousands in a day. That's a lot of people. It's all around the world: Malaysia, Russia, China, India, Afghanistan. Just like 20 people sitting, just tripping out. Yeah.